Once we complete those objectives, the RV will then spawn at whatever base we've selected. You guys didn't think I was going to put this RV in the game, right? Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm Bundy, aka Bundy Games, and in today's video, the topic of discussion is the State of Decay 2 breakdown update coming this year, and how should it be added to the game. Now, I'm going to answer both of those questions. And not only am I going to give you one method, but two. That's right, I said two methods of implementation of how it should and could be done. So you guys want to stay tuned till the end of this video, because the second method is actually my favorite of the two. So let's get right into the question, guys. Is the State of Decay 2 breakdown update going to be added this year? I can answer that question in 3 words. I don't know. But they could and should add this update. And as I said before, I'm going to give 2 methods of how it can be done. Now, I usually like to keep it pretty simple, and that's what I'm going to do, because one of the things that Undead Labs usually lists in their streams is that memory is an issue for the game. So keeping it simple, using assets that are already in the game, that's the easiest way to go about making these changes. All right, so keeping it simple, method number 1. Simply put, just give us a new mode that's accessible from the main menu screen. That way it keeps everything separate from the main game, and what happens in breakdown mode stays in breakdown mode. Now, gameplay. Basically, the way it should be handled, in my opinion, is similar to breakdown in State of Decay 1. When we spawn into the game, we spawn in at random locations across the map. We then settle a base, and at that point we get prompted, unlike in State of Decay 1, to find the RV somewhere in the map. In State of Decay 1, they gave us the location. In State of Decay 2, we would have to find it somewhere on the map in a random location by surveying the area. Once we locate the RV, we'll then be given objectives on resources that we need to make the RV drivable. Once we complete those objectives, the RV will then spawn at whatever base we've selected. You guys didn't think I was going to put this RV in the game, right? Funny enough, this RV is in the game files. We haven't gotten access to it yet, but maybe they can make that happen. Now, in my opinion, I think the RV should be undrivable. Just have it spawn at the base. We repair the thing. Once we make the map drivable, I should say, we get rid of the plague hearts, we get rid of infestations, take the threat level down, we access the RV, and then we can proceed. Unlike in State of Decay 1, we can proceed to another random map, one of the 4 random maps that we have available to us. And also, just like in State of Decay 1, we have a set number of survivors that we can take with us. Now, since our community member limit is a lot smaller than in State of Decay 1, I propose, in my opinion, that the number that we take with us would be limited to 4 survivors. That way, if you happen to settle a base where you have 8 survivors, you'll have to choose between the 4. So it's that simple, guys. The only thing that we wouldn't have that was present in State of Decay 1 breakdown are the challenges that would unlock hero characters. We don't have any hero characters in State of Decay 2. And the challenges, we have them on the bounty broker. So I don't see that as a negative point. It would still be a fun gameplay addition, in my opinion, to add it separate mode. Now, for method number 2, and as I said before, method number 2 is my favorite of the 2. And I'm going to make a strong pitch for it. I think I got to get up here to sell this thing. So method number 2. Now you guys are going to love this. Method number 2. Add a new difficulty option. We got green, standard, dread, nightmare, and lethal. This will be breakdown difficulty. Now, why is that important? Okay. Ever since Lethal Zone came out, within the first week of Lethal Zone, we had guys saying, I beat Lethal Zone. I need a harder difficulty. We had other guys say, try mods. Make it harder. I tried this mod. I need a harder mod. Well, with breakdown difficulty, just like in State of Decay 1, every time you clear the map and you, well, in State of Decay 1 we only had 1 map. But in State of Decay 2, every time we clear a map and we go to another random map, the difficulty will scale up. And they can go as high as level 100 if they want to. In between those levels, they can play around with the numbers, adjusting the stats, make the zombies harder to kill, the pharaohs harder to kill, make the juggernauts and the hearts tankier. Whatever they want to do, they can play around with those numbers. And between, now this is just an example. Say when you get to the higher levels, you make it to where there are no cars on the map. You want difficulty, you want the game harder, instead of artificial difficulties, as I call them, by just making more hordes appear on the screen and making the zombies tougher. There are no vehicles. So everywhere you go on the map, you have to do it by walking or running, for that matter. How about the only areas that you'll find resources are in plague hearts? There are no lootable containers on the map. You guys want difficult? They can scale that in the levels in the breakdown difficulty. And how about this? After you pass level 100, maybe they can put a randomizer, making it totally random things that are going to happen in the game. You may start out with 1 car, you may start out with 2, you may start out with none. You never know what's going to happen once you pass level 100. That way you can avoid people constantly asking Undead Labs to make the game harder. Give us another difficulty. Breakdown difficulty in my opinion, if done right, will take care of that problem. So that's basically my pitch, guys. What do you think of the two methods? Do you like any of them? Do you care about breakdown? Would you like to see breakdown implemented? Like, share, subscribe, forward the video, spam the developers. Let them know you want breakdown. We want breakdown and State of Decay 2. It shouldn't be that hard to put it in. All the assets are in the game. All they got to do is play around with the stats. Give us breakdown level, difficulty, give us breakdown mode. Let me know what you think. That's the end of my video. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.